Hi friends, this is Sai Kumar Kortivada. In this video, we will learn about project structure in Angular and the importance of each and every file which are created by our Angular CLI. I recommend you to watch my previous videos before watching this video. In my previous video, I explained about how to set up Angular and also how to create an Angular project. So let's go to Visual Studio. I have created a project called as demo1 and this is my default folder structure which was given by Angular. In this, we'll try to learn all the default files and folders which has been created. Let's try to understand first about package.json. Package.json will contain scripts, name of the project, dependencies, dev dependencies. So dependencies and dev dependencies are used for our Angular application, and here all the dependencies are added either into dev dependencies or into dependencies. So what is the difference between dependencies and dev dependencies? Dev dependencies are the dependencies which are used only at the development phase, whereas dependencies are used for both development as well as the production phase. In that case, we will be using dependencies, and whenever we are using for the development phase, we will be using dev dependencies. How to manage or how to install a particular package inside the dev dependencies and dependencies. Whenever you want to install any package inside the dev dependencies, we can use npm install package name minus minus save hyphen dev or minus minus save. That will be installing your package into dev dependencies. Whenever we are not giving minus minus save, then such dependencies will be moved on to the dependencies object. And coming to script. So scripts are something which can be managed by us or which can be created by us and used for execution purpose. So whenever I want to use scripts, I can use npm run command name, that is script name. If I give npm run start, it indirectly starts the ngserve. I can use ngserve also, but whenever I don't have Angular setup at global level, then I can use npm run start. So these will point to your node modules. What are node modules? All the dependencies, all the dev dependencies, whatever we are using for our application, that will be installed as node modules. So these are all the libraries which are used in our application. And coming to package log.json. Whenever you are using npm install for the first time, then npm install will go into our package.json and it will fetch all the dependencies as well as dev dependencies. Then it will install the node modules. Whenever it is installing a node modules, it will make a version set for all these dependencies as package log.json. I can say like version set in the sense a backup for our package.json. When the user is installing again npm install, it will check whether we have a package log.json. If it has a package log.json, and it will check the node module library. If both has been installed, then it will skip the installation. Only the new packages or the updated packages will be installed and it will update your package log.json. So that is the purpose of package log.json. And now let's understand about AngularJSON. So here if you see AngularJSON is a configuration file where whole Angular application related configurations will be managed and maintained. So here if you see, there is a schema, version, new project root, and projects. So you may be using a number of Angular projects in one AngularJSON also we can maintain. So that is why it is projects, and this is my project name. If you see here, what are the properties we have? So schematics. What schematics? Schematics is nothing but what we want to use for a particular component, for a particular module, or how our application should behave. So I am saying that I will be using the styles called as SCSS styles. And if you see here, the application strict mode, I have selected the strict mode whenever I am installing my application. So this value is equal to true. Now coming to build. Whenever we are using an ng build, this build will be triggered. So whenever this build is triggered, so it will follow some builder options, all these polyfills, main file, everything it will point, and then it will be rendering or building your JavaScript files. Coming to configurations, here the configurations are used for maintaining the profiling. For example, you can maintain the production mode, you can maintain the development mode, or if you want to create more different environments, we can create our own environments and we can write the rules for that particular environment. For example, here if you see in the production, I gave the budgets. Budgets is an array, so it will take some objects, and here we can give the objects like, for example, if you see here, type any component style file should not exceed 4 KB and should not exceed 2 KB. If it exceeds 2 KB, it will be showing a warning, whereas maximum error is 4 KB. So whenever it reaches 4 KB or more than 4 KB, then our build will fail. So like that, we can write some rules to create our builds. And file replacements. So whenever I'm giving a build on the production mode, it will replace our environment.ts with our environment.production file. So that's how it behaves. And coming to development mode, we don't have any rules in the development mode. If you want, you can make that rules in the development mode also. Before Angular 12, the default configuration is always development mode, whereas from Angular 12, it is pointing to production mode. You can change into development mode also if you require. Now, serve. So whenever the user hits on ng-serve, so the serve will be triggered and whole this application will be running based on this serve configuration. So if you see here, we are using default configuration as development. Why? Because whenever we are doing serve, we will always have a default configuration to be a development mode. So this will be in development mode. Like this, we have n number of configurations like test. So these all are the test configurations, and whenever we are hitting ng test, it will fetch this object and it will do all the builder options as well as assets, styles, everything. It will fetching the files and running as per our configurations. So that is how AngularJSON will work. And let's go to karma config. Karma config is a file where our karma tool will be configured, or it is a root of your karma. So where you will configure all our karma related configurations. For example, port number, by default a port number 9876, colors true, log level config.loginfo, auto watch. So it will be whenever you are saving your files, it will be rebuilding all the components and it will re-render the test cases. And browsers, by default it is having a Chrome browser, and if you want to add some other browsers also, you can add the browsers. And restart on file change as true. So whenever you are changing some files, it will restart and it will render your changes on the browser. So that's like live reload. And let's go to tsconfig app.json. Here, this is used for configuring TypeScripts for whole application. For example, here you have compiler options. Whenever we are compiling the TSC, that means our compiled JavaScript files, where it has to go. So we can define here, and also files we have like main.ts and polyfills, which are the root files for our application are configured here. So that's how tsconfiguration app.json will work. tsconfig.json. So here we will be writing all our configurations, how we want to behave with our TypeScript. So for example, here you have lib, what library we want to use, module defaults to ES 2020 and target ES 2017, Angular compiler options. So whenever you are compiling your Angular, you can define that particular Angular compiler options. For example, if you want to use the previous legacy format of messaging ID, you can make it as true. And if you see here, enable IVY is false. That means we can make our IVY as false. We can use our previous AOT compiler. So that's how we can configure all the Angular compiler options also. Coming to tsconfig.spec.json. So this file is only for specs, and here we will be writing all our TS configurations for our spec files like test files. Now let's go to SRC. So this is where whole application or whole developer's code will be persisting in our code base. SRC is a folder which we will be maintained for our development purpose. And if you see app is a root component which is created by Angular by default, and it has some files: routing module file, component.html file, SCSS file, spec.ts file, dot component dot ts file, module dot ts file. So we have all the set of modules, routings as well as component. What does component involves? You can see app.component, app.component.scss, app.component.spec.ts, app.component.ts. Like this, we have a component suffix. So by that we can understand they are related to the components. And what are modules? We'll learn more about modules, more about components, more about routing modules in the further videos. So now assets. What is an assets? Assets is nothing but whenever you are having an metadata, meta files like images, JSON files, you can maintain them inside the assets. And coming to environment folder. Environment folder by default, Angular will provide you two environments. One is development environment, environment.ts points to development environment, whereas production.ts, this will point to your production environment. If you want to create some more environments, we can create environment.dev.ts, environment.qa.ts. Like that, we can create our environments, and that can be configured in your angular.json. Favy icon. Icon is a general icon which is created by Angular CLI, which will be shown on the browser's top tab. And index.html. This is our root HTML file. Whenever we are running ngserve, ngbuild, anything, this will be our root HTML file. Main.ts. So main.ts is the root TS file. So first, whenever we are running ngserve or ngbuild or running our application in a server, it will point to main.ts. This will be created as main.js by using transpilers. Polyfill.ts. To support our older versions of browsers, we will be using polyfills, where this polyfills is nothing but whenever we are running our application, this polyfills will be triggered first, then it will go to main.js or main.ts. So whenever the dependencies for our application we want to use before our main.ts has been instantiated, then such configurations will be configured in our polyfills.ts. So this has two sections. One is browser polyfills and another one is application imports. So whatever the application imports you want to import into your application, that imports can be written in this file. And also browser polyfills. For example, if you see here, IE11 requires the following ng class support on SVG elements. SVG elements are not directly supported in our Angular application for IE. So if you want to use that ng class over the SVG element, you have to uncomment this line, or you can install by using this classlist.js, and it is a dev dependency. And in the same way, if you want to use web animation, then also you can use this particular import, as well as you have to install web animations JS file. So like this, we can configure all our polyfills for all the web browser support. And by default, zone.js, this is created by Angular itself, and whatever the application imports, for example, if you have your own scripts that has to be loaded into our application, that can be configured in the polyfills. That's how polyfills works. And coming to styles.scss, this is the global SCSS file. If you create your application with CSS file, this will be creating as styles.css. Whereas here I have created my application with support of SCSS. So styles.scss is created and it will be the root styles. And whatever the styles I am using here, I can use throughout the application on any component, on any module. Test.ts. This is my root TS file for our testing purpose. So what it will do is it will fetch all our spec files and it will try to compile the spec file and will show the result in a Karma tool, which will open in a Chrome browser. So that is how our Angular application has been designed, the architecture, and this is how the default files will be working. In the next video, we'll try to understand what is an ngserve, how the application will be running when I hit ngserve, and what is the flow from ngserve till the browser renders the application. So we'll see what is the flow of the each and every file in our next video. Hope you guys like this video. If you like my video, like, share, subscribe to my channel. Signing off. Thank you.